Here I have the basic start. What I do normally is I put up a few anti-air units and start scanning the area around me. You can see Bacon Forever and Ever is having some efficiency problems at this point, as well as Quaison Moche. Now I have my radar up so I can see other enemy units, and I start my bot and vehicle factories. Here comes a brief assault, which I'm able to destroy. And now, here I am amassing units. I'm sending this group over here to patrol that area in case these guys try to come into an assault from here. And I put up this small defense barrier in case these guys wanted to come through that area there. I also noticed these guys are starting to amass some troops. Building more anti-air in case they decide to attack with an air force, which seems to happen an awful lot in bot games. And here I am sending in a scouting force to see what's out. I find this completely unguarded, so I'm able to destroy a few of their economy with just 5 tanks. And while this is going on, notice I'm still amassing lots of troops. Here I decided to target this piece here. That way the tanks can just go ahead and shoot through an auto-kill pretty much. There I send in some bombering units which are easily shot down by their anti-air. There's their commander. And I send in a drone squad to soften their defenses a little bit more. So now I know they won't be a problem. So now here I'm building a pelter to harass them a little bit, and I've set up a defense line of landmines. Here I notice a lot of the blue over here had some orbitals, so I decided to build an orbitals unit. Here you notice I'm massing a lot of troops, and here's my pelter. I'm going to get in a long-range fight very soon with this purple group over here. I'm still amassing anti-air just in case, and I'm also amassing drones. If you notice, I'm using some of the builder units in order to mass produce them more efficiently. Here I'm starting to build my advanced vehicle factory, and I sent this group to patrol over in this area. This is when I noticed something was going awry. I honestly haven't had a ton of experience with them, but I also knew that it might stop because of that group that was sent over there. So I was wondering what was happening there, so I started amassing units more. Here I noticed this guy hasn't moved very much, so I stopped caring about that area. And then I also noticed that all my stuff was being destroyed, so I started sending up orbitals to scout, and I noticed this guy was destroyed. I kept seeing things destroyed, so I tried to build some stuff. They got annihilated immediately. I sent in a scouting force. Slowly they were eaten away. I sent in a larger force to see what was up. I noticed they had a lot of long-range vehicles. So, if they wanted to play that game, I was happy to play it as well. However, they destroyed a lot of my stuff before I was able to get to it. Here I was stupid and I just sent in all my stuff, thinking that I might have been at a loss because I lost my 2 factories. As you can see, most definitely not. Here they were just silly and started shooting there for no reason. And here they come in. One by one. My pelter was able to take a bunch of them out. Thankfully, I had a couple of guys building this advanced battle factory, so they were able to help that as much as they could. And I started advancing my own army of those long range. So these guys were just able to keep it alive. I had to put more on that, and I was still amassing an air force here. I've yet to expand with that. So I noticed this was getting close to dying. I was able to finally take them out with one of my bombers, and now we play the long range game. Here, if you notice, I'm building more and more builder units so I can help produce these quickly. Also here in the bot factory, after I build a few sniper units, I'm going to build an advanced one. Notice I also have my commander still helping. My efficiency was pretty bad at this point because my metal extractors are being destroyed, and then I noticed this guy was attacking, so I decided I should make my older units patrol the area, just in case that happens again, which it did several times. Later on, I also sent one of my units to repair this area here. I'm also, in order to even out my economy a little bit better, I'm sending one of my advanced units to build advanced extractors all over my safe locations. Notice I'm not building in this fire zone over here. Here is when it gets difficult. I'm not able to build anything. So what I wind up doing, here I also ran out of anti-air, which is bad because I sent it all in. Here I almost lost this, but I was able to keep just enough so that it would stay alive. Here I sent all the bots that were repairing that before over here. I'm also sending in some air repairs over here. I'm so surprised I was able to keep this alive. And once I was confident that this was not going to die, I started mass producing them. And just playing the long range game, all the while being... This guy's over here repairing now. All the while I'm being assaulted in orbit from that one blue guy over here. It seems to be his primary mode of offense. Now you see I have all advanced extractors. Able to amass a few of these, and I just start hitting their targets long range. So here I took out a little portion of their economy. And here I notice these guys are going over here, they're not attacking anything yet. I'll explore that area later. Because this was so close to the fire zone, I decided to build another one over here just in case they decided a full frontal assault. All the while building more orbital units just in case they decide to attack me. Here I notice they have bombers, which are surprisingly effective. So I decided, okay, I need more anti-air. So I start mass producing that. After I finish these things over here, I send this drone to help mass produce that for me. I also send in a group of anti-air. Here I'm just sending in very small squadrons for the constant harassment, so they have to constantly waste units on trying to kill one. Here this is almost finished building. Okay, now that it's built, I start with my advanced, and then I start building tanks in case I get into close combat. Here I'm also starting to amass a small bot force in case I get assaulted from this edge. And I'm just constantly making more and more of these long-range tactical shooters. I decided to scout over here, and I noticed this guy was eliminated, so I decided to take advantage of that. I built all my own extractors. I reclaimed this area later on, and I also built an ion cannon to prevent one of the blues over here from hitting it with their laser defense systems. I also built some standard defense. Here I'm going ahead and evening out the economy a bit more by building advanced extractors. Here I built an anti-nuke, thank God for that, otherwise I would have lost. And all the while I'm still constantly assaulting. I notice I'm spreading out the troops, so if they do long-range retaliation, they can't hit all of them at once. Here I notice they got my bombers, so what I do is I send in my air force. To take a few of them out, I send these couple stragglers in. All the while, still harassing. I also sent this very small squadron over here to harass. It wound up working extremely efficiently because they have no defensive hold against this long-range type of attack. So I wound up destroying most of their economy, and they fled to the other side of the planet. This group here was actually the last people remaining. Building up a larger anti-air force and amassing more troops for a final assault. Send in the anti-air force, destroy that easily. I'm able to decimate their army here while in the retreat. And follow up with a few over here. That gets destroyed. Still amassing units. These guys are still wreaking complete havoc on this area over here. I also notice, hey, this guy built an Astrius. What for? Turns out, his commander is on it, and I find that out later on. Here he starts to set up an anchor, and he doesn't take up his commander later, until a little bit later. There he is. I see him in space with my deep space radar. Send in my large force here. Take out that so I can't do anything. Move him from the game. Although this squadron is severely damaged from the ion cannons, it's still able to patrol. Now, at this point, I needed to find out who was left in the game, so I mass produced a bunch of scout planes here. All still producing these. Here I'm building a lot more anti-air in case the enemy decides to attack me with air units again. Here I got assaulted by 2 laser cannons, was able to take those out relatively easily, but I lost most of my bot force. Now I put another guy on the bot force so I can reproduce quicker, and I start to send more of my troops out exploring. Here I'm sending a squadron over this way in case somebody decides to assault from there. Here I see some Avengers try and attack, as well as some satellites there. So I decide to set one of my bots to build ion cannons around this area. So they can't assault my base. Here I send in another exploratory force. I'm getting these guys to just patrol this area over here. I notice he does have some metal extractors, so I might be able to hit those with my long-range target. I also send out a group of 10 scouting planes to scout the entire planet. I see his commanders right here, all he has left. Everybody else is eliminated. I send in all my forces. My anti-airplanes do a dance as they can't destroy anything. And eventually my other units converge and win the game. And that's it. This is honestly my first PvP match. Mostly I play with bots, just because I usually think people are better than bots, but I guess not according to PA. At least that's how it was before Gamma was released. Well, that was my match. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.